So you know those weeks where you feel like you've been sewing absolutely non-stop, but somehow by the end of it you've got absolutely nothing glamorous to show for it? Yep, that's been me. But it was still very productive because I did make a toile, yeah, shock horror, and it didn't work out, but that's good even though it delays a pretty big project. I also dabbled with sewing with vinyl for the first time, and I may have accidentally bought some more fabric. Oops. So basically, business as usual. But I've got some really gorgeous dead stock to show you. I'll fill you in on what I've been getting up to. So let's catch up. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. So yes, I've been very, very busy in my sewing room for the last couple of weeks, but I don't really have a lot to show for it. It's kind of been a lot of useful sewing, which kind of needed to be done in order to move myself forward. And yeah, it had to be done. One of them is this lovely Vogue Toile that Barbara is wearing here, and I'll get into that a bit later on. But I also decided to get stuck into sewing some vinyl. I had a big need for making some bags, and I just wanted to get stuck into it, and now that I have, I'm a little bit addicted. I did some cutting out, and there are a few other projects that are kind of midway through. So yeah, after making a complete mess of my sewing room, and I don't really have much to show you this week, but sometimes you have weeks like this and you just got to get through them. And to help me get through them, I bought some fabric. So yeah, I thought in this video, I would just share what I've been getting up to, because you just shouldn't feel bad if you aren't going as fast as you would like to. And yeah, sometimes you just got to get things done. So yeah, we've got a little bit of everything this week, kind of like sewing tapas, you know? So what shall we start with? Let's start with bags. Let's start with bags because I made some bags. These are the bags I made. These are boxy bags, obviously, because they are boxy. Because at the start of the year, I was looking for a decent sized pencil case for my daughter. She is quite creative, no surprises there. And she has lots of pens. She loves drawing, markers, all these things. I found it really hard to find a decent sized pencil case that was good quality, that was big enough to hold a lot of school stuff. So I decided to make my own. I've been eyeing off making these boxy bags for ages, specifically out of vinyl, because obviously they're going to be a bit more durable. And then I found this gorgeous fabric here. I don't know if you can see, but this is the tiger, the derpy tiger from K-pop Demon Hunters. This guy here, he's incredibly popular with young ones at the moment. So yeah, I found this gorgeous vinyl, and yeah, we decided to make a pencil case for her. So I got this matching sparkly vinyl, and we got some lovely coordinating zipper tape here. It's like a galaxy zipper tape, and a cute little paw zipper pull there to kind of go with the derpiness here. So yeah, I ended up making my own bag. It was really successful. My very first time sewing with vinyl, and it was definitely a learning experience. In fact, I actually made this one first. I made two. This was my first attempt here. This one's actually for me, and I got some more gorgeous vinyl here, which has got kind of butterflies, moths, moons, and flowers and stuff. Really cute, and I've matched it up with the black kind of sparkly vinyl on top with some rose gold zipper. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to be making so many more of these, so if you have not made your own little bags like this, definitely give it a go. Now the pattern I used, I actually followed the YouTube tutorial from Okla Roots. Very, very informative. Gives you all the dimensions you need to cut out your vinyl, step-by-step instructions, multiple different versions you can make. And yeah, I successfully made this. This was definitely a learning for me. The good part is they zip and it's fully lined on the inside. And it was pretty easy to make. I made this in one day and even made a start on this one in the evening. This one obviously went a lot faster because I knew what I was doing. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with how these turned out. There's definitely some tricky steps in there, especially when it comes to inserting these tabs. And yeah, a pretty successful project overall. I'm really happy with these. I think what I'm going to do next is actually look to scale these to maybe make some of them bigger, some of them smaller, and so on. It's just a matter of changing your dimensions. But I think these type of bags are just so useful in the everyday. Obviously not just as pencil cases. I'm going to give this back to my daughter, but I've actually put my vitamins in this particular one. I'm going to make another one that's going to be for my pens and my washi tape that's kind of put all over my desk. Another one for my little kind of smaller collection of nail polishes. I think the fact that these are really quick to sew is just an absolute win, and they're going to make great gifts as well because we're coming up into the gifting season. So I'll put a link to the Okla Roots video I followed down in the description if you want to go check them out. If you've not made these before, you might have your own favorite pattern. If you do have another good pattern or YouTube video that might be useful, go and drop that in the comments. I like to have a go at other versions and try things out. I'll also put a link for Blue Moth Fabrics, which is where I got these lovely vinyls from. They've got a really great collection of really quite funky and out there designs. In fact, let me just show you the other ones I've got. So yeah, you get all these rolls here. This is the derpy one that I got. You get these big rolls like this if you pre-order some of their designs. This is obviously your glitter vinyl, and this one is gorgeous. It is like this holographic purple leopard print. I also got some of this jelly vinyl as well, which I think is from by Annie. It's a really nice sturdy vinyl. I wouldn't actually line a bag that I made out of this because it's part of the effect of this jelly, which it is slightly see-through. It's like frosted. It's really nice. It feels really nice and sturdy. This is going to be a great one for waterproof bags and things, but I've got quite a lot here, so I'm going to try a different version with this jelly roll fabric. I just have to go and buy a whole heap of new zipper tapes to match, because who doesn't like nice coordinating bags with their fabrics? And I also want to try a quilted version. Obviously I've got lots of lovely quilted cottons, so I'm going to quilt out some squares, cut out the templates for the bags, and yeah, make a totally different version as well. So not just the vinyl, I'm just going to make a whole bunch of bags, because I mean, like, who doesn't like cute storage? So yeah, really cute bags. These kept me busy for a whole entire weekend, and my confidence has leveled up, so I anticipate lots more bag making in my future. Shall we do fabric next? Yes, let's do a good old fabric haul. Let's see what I got. First up, Fabric Godmother. I found some of their designs had been marked down to half price, so I decided to go in and get some. So first up, I've got this lovely Sundance Viscose Jacquard, and I've got 2.5 meters of it. This is a really lovely light and drapey fabric. It is incredibly soft, and the print on here is absolutely delightful. It's just got this really fun Western theme running through it. I think it's a little bit different to other things that you see, and I just really like the neutral palette that's going on here. Now, initially, I didn't even notice the Jacquard effect that was going on with this fabric until I started ironing it after I'd pre-washed it. So it's actually got this really dense polka dot effect running right through the weave of this fabric. It is really nice. It's really subtle, and I really like it. So yeah, I've got 2.5 meters for this one, and I do actually have a plan for it. Yes, I haven't just bought this on a whim. So I've been wanting to make the Fiber Mood ermine blouse for quite a while. I've been going through my stash, and I either had the right fabric but not enough, or yeah, fabrics just weren't sitting right, but I've been really wanting to make this pattern. I think it's going to be a really good one to carry me through autumn, winter, and into spring. And so when I saw that this fabric was half off from Fabric Godmother, I jumped at it. Yep, I jumped at it because I just think it's a lot of fun. I think this print will complement the really nice detailing of that blouse quite nicely without overpowering it. The ermine's got that really nice V detailing on the yoke there with the gathering underneath. So it's almost got a little bit of a Western vibe going on anyway. So yeah, this is why I decided to go for this fabric. I had been eyeing this one off for quite a while now, so I decided to take the leap, and yeah, I might get stuck into making that ermine blouse. Next up is this gorgeous fabric here. It is an Eco Vero viscose crepe, and I've got 2.5 meters of this one as well. This has got a really lovely soft crepe texture to it. It is incredibly drapey, and it's got these beautiful gorgeous flowers running in stripes all the way down through the fabric. Very consistent, very dainty, and yeah, really gorgeous. Another one which I've been eyeing off for ages. In fact, I think it's the same colorway as the fabric I made my Effie blouse out of, which I'll pop a picture here. Now, I've got to be honest, I bought this fabric because I've been eyeing it off for ages. I haven't got a pattern 100% committed for it, but I am looking at McCall's M7325, which is technically also the Liberty Ester top pattern. It's pretty much the same thing, but I absolutely love the styling of this blouse. Again, it's that really nice floaty, easygoing boho look, which I absolutely love. So I do actually have the McCall's pattern already. I have it as a PDF. First time I've actually got a PDF for a Big 4 pattern. I'm going to print it out, see how I feel about it. If I don't like it, I'm going to get the Liberty pattern, but I might get the Liberty pattern anyway, because it's Liberty. So I was thinking that maybe that nice big flowy top would suit this fabric nicely. Not 100% sold, but I do have 2.5 meters, so there's a potential for a nice little shortish dress going on. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. I've got way too many other things to sew in the meantime, so this can just sit there until it tells me what it wants to be. But if you've got any suggestions, if you've used this fabric yourself and made something amazing out of it, let me know down in the comments. So those are my Fabric Godmother purchases. Let's have a look at some dead stock. It is a big, hefty pile. So this pile here is from Wasted Fabrics. I have shopped from them before. Those who have been watching Ripper Seams for a while know I did a big unboxing of one of their mystery boxes and had a lot of fun with that. But I've bought some more fabric from them. Now, I haven't bought from them for a while. Even at 70% off, I didn't care. I didn't buy any fabric. But then they took another 10% off the 70% off, and yeah, I went in. There were some fabrics calling to me. So let's have a look at what I got. Experimental purchase. Experimental purchase, it is this one here. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. This is sparkly lurex goodness. There is this lovely deep orange rusty floral print here. It is sparkly to the hilt. It is also incredibly sheer. So this is kind of like a really sheer. Hello, can you see me? It is stretchy. It's got a decent amount of stretch, not too much stretch. It's not crazy stretchy, but it is beautifully sparkly. Colors are just gorgeous. You've got that hint of aqua in there with pink and orange, light blues. This is delightful, and I got 6 meters of it. It was super cheap, so why not buy something experimental and see what fun you can have with it? That's what I'm all about. So I've got 6 meters, and I've got so many different things I could potentially make with this. I'm very, very excited. I have a list of things I can make. Let me put my glasses on. Right, I've got new glasses. What do we think? This was also an experimental purchase. I've bought glasses that makes me look like my dad from 1981. Yeah. First off, a potential wilder gown. Now I know a wilder gown from Friday Pattern Company is made for woven fabrics, but I think I could pull it off. I could have a nice sheer, sparkly, full length wilder gown with a saltwater slip, like a neutral saltwater slip underneath. I think that would look quite stunning. So that's one option. There's also the Miranda skirt from Style Arc, which I've been eyeing off for ages. So for this one, we've got a really nice stretchy skirt underlayer. And then of course, we've got this lovely gathered tulle type effect on the outside. This fabric is going to be perfect for that. A couple of out there designs. The Nyla dress by Fiber Mood. This one is a little bit crazy, but again, I think layers, it could look really, really nice, especially because this isn't overly transparent. I think some of these kind of more out there designs will look a little bit more subdued, but still gorgeous, you know. There's also McCall's 8110, and there's a few really nice different views on this one here, which I quite like. Yeah, definitely one to have a look at. And finally is Simplicity, and there's 2 pattern numbers for this one. S9476 is the one that inspired me the most, but it's also for the smaller sizing is 9475. This one here is using an overlay, like a lighter layer overlay underneath the main dress. This is a really lovely, gorgeous dress. Absolute perfection, and I think this would look really, really pretty. So yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think I should lean into out of that collection of patterns for this gorgeous fabric? Is there something else you can recommend? I'm happy to experiment because I'm absolutely so happy about this purchase. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was an absolute bargain of a price, and yeah, I can't wait to make something out of it. I've got 6 meters. I could probably make a couple of things out of it. Let's be honest here. So yeah, this one here is my first experimental purchase from Wasted Fabrics. I think it was a good one. I now have to figure out how to fold all this up. It is a slippery sucker. You can go live over there. Right, next up is some more sparkly. In fact, all of these are sparkly, and it's this gorgeous one here. So this is a blue leopard print viscose with these lovely lurex spots kind of woven into it. Ooh la la, this is divine. Now, I have another 6 meters of this. I just loved it so much. This is really good quality viscose. This is buttery soft to start off with, and it's quite a decent weight to it. It's not a thin viscose. It's going to look absolutely gorgeous in a nice big flowy summer dress. That's what I'm going to use it for. So much so that I haven't picked a pattern yet, because summer's 6 months away. We're not going to be thinking that way until the weather starts turning on the warm side, but I just couldn't go past this absolute gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. I absolutely love this teal against my skin tone. And of course, we've got these beautiful golden spots running right through it. It is absolutely divine. Like I said, I'm completely undecided, but this is going to be an absolutely wonderful fabric to make some summer clothes out of, which is some holiday wear, going somewhere hot and exciting. So I'll have this to look forward to when the weather starts getting warmer, because we've got lots of autumn winter sewing ahead of us, really. So yeah, so I couldn't go past this one. Absolutely gorgeous. So there's one more fabric. This one was yet another experimental purchase. I saw it, I thought this could look amazing in the right thing, and yeah, I just had to jump for it. Again, the price was right, and it arrived and it exceeded my expectations. This fabric is gorgeous. It's also very heavy. It is this here, and yeah, I'm gonna need to go to the gym after holding this one up, but here it is. Ugh. Look at this. This is a sequin fabric, and it's got this gorgeous triangular pattern running through it. It's really unusual. It is on a mesh backing, so there's the sides there, but it is incredibly stable. Those sequins are incredibly densely woven on there, and yeah, it is such a lovely, interesting design. I'm gonna make a jacket out of it. That's what I see. It's gonna be something of a learning experience when I do. However, my next video after this one is actually all gonna be about sewing sequins. So yeah, I'm using that particular make as my gateway into sew with sequins. This will be further down the track, but I think a really nice blazer made out of this is going to be absolutely stunning. Now, Heather Blazer by Friday Pattern Company is the first one I've got off the top of my head. Obviously, I'm going to have to adapt that to accommodate just the nature of sequin fabric. It's going to have to be underlined. I'm going to have to line the pockets and so on. Maybe rethink the closure on there because it does have a buttonhole. But yeah, this is my first initial thought, was something really nice and sleek and stylish with this absolutely divine and unique fabric. I mean, like, you don't see this fabric around every day, do you? Especially not at a bargain price. And it's incredibly heavy. So whatever I make, I've got to keep that in mind as well. This is weighty. Yeah, this one's gonna raise my heartbeat up when I wear it around. I'm gonna have to, yeah, exercise. I have 3 meters of this one. I didn't go crazy. I bought 3 meters of this one, but that's definitely enough to make a really nice, stylish blazer. If you can recommend a pattern that will suit a make out of sequins, yeah, drop it down in the description below. I'd love to have a look at it because I'm quite excited. I think 2026 is going to be a year of me getting into like really unusual makes. I kind of want to level up the type of things which I make and the materials I make out of. Yeah, fun, exciting, adventurous. I'm all for it. Obviously, I've got to make a flight suit first. In fact, I've got to take my husband shopping for fabric for that, amongst other things. So yeah, watch this space as to what those fabrics turn into. Obviously, they're not going to be made immediately. Lots of other things are ahead in the queue, but I just wanted to show you those fabrics because I think they're pretty special, and I'm excited to have them in my stash because I can just sit there and plan and get excited about them. And that's part of the fun of sewing, isn't it? So that was my little fabric haul. It was a little bit naughty of me, but when the price is right, sometimes you just got to get in there, don't you? Just got to make that purchase. But yeah, I am absolutely busting at the seams of my stash. I'm starting to get angry at myself actually now because I do have to get in there. I think half my battle is actually pulling my fabrics out and just refolding them and putting them in. I've just been going back and forth, pulling things out, looking for things, so much going on that I think if I just neatly folded everything and put it away, I'll have room in there. It's just a little bit chaotic in Ripper Seam Central. Everything is a mess. I need to clean up. But let's talk about what Barbara is wearing. So one of the things I've been working on has been this particular toile here, and this is Vogue 2040. This is one of their Diane von Furstenberg wrap dresses, and I was pretty excited to get stuck into this one. This has been on my radar, my plans for such a long time now, and I thought I really got to get a crack on with this one. However, last time I made a Vogue dress, I found it quite big on me. There was definitely a lot more ease going on than I was expecting, so I thought I would play it safe this time and make a toile of this one because the fabric I actually wanted to make this dress out of is a dead stock. It has got a particular feature about it. Sorry, I'm not going to show you. It's going to be a big surprise when I do actually end up making this dress, but there's a feature on it that if I stuffed up the dress. It's not so much about getting another fabric. The whole entire quality of this dress will go out the window, so I have to get it right. Thus the toile. So the dress I actually want to make is this version here, which is version C. It's the full length version. I want it to go down to the floor. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning. And because the fabric I have is actually a knit, I thought the nice wrap top feature, the crossover, would be really nice. A little bit relaxed, but still quite stylish, having that full maxi length. So my plan was to ultimately make this dress, but I thought I'd make the shorter version without the sleeves for my toile, because I thought if my toile works out, I'll just have a really nice dress, which is quite different to my other one. In fact, incredibly different to my other one. So I got this fabric here. What is this fabric? I totally forgot with my glasses. What is this fabric? So this fabric here is an ITY stretch, kind of silky type stuff. It is incredibly floaty, definitely very smooth. It's got a decent weight to it, so it's kind of making that drapiness quite nice. It is very similar to the type of fabric I'm going to be making my final dress out of. That's why I'm using it. So my main aim with the toile was to be able to make the dress as it states in the pattern, in the size which I think I should make based off the amount of garment ease. So I didn't make any adjustments to it. I just wanted to see what the pattern was actually doing before I made any adjustments. If I needed to make another toile, I would. So I actually got 80% of the way there with the toile before I decided to abandon ship, because this is not the dress I want to make in my final fabric. It's not the right style, and I made that call even before I realized I'm going to have to make a whole bunch of adjustments to this pattern. I'm going to have to take a lot out of this bodice section here, because I'm finding where the skirt joins is way too low. It really needs to kind of sit up a lot higher up here. And even though I sized down, I still think it's too big. I'm having to wrap it around more than it really should. And like I said, I don't think this style is going to suit the fabric. It's ended up not being what I wanted it to be. So yeah, I'm not going to finish my toile. I'm abandoning ship. I just don't like it. I don't want to spend all the time I need to make these adjustments to make this dress work for me. I might revisit this dress again in future in a totally new fabric, but I'm not a fan of the fabric. I'm not a fan of the fit. I'm not a fan of the design. And that happens. And I'm so glad that I found that out on the toile and not on my other fabric, because I would have been heartbroken. I would have been absolutely not happy, Jan. Yeah. Too many things about this dress I didn't like. So now on the hunt for a full-length dress that can be made out of jersey, which is kind of fancy but also casual. Limited choices out there. So I have been through the Big Four website. I've circled one which is in the running. I've gone through all my favorite independent pattern companies and drawn a blank. So if you know of a qualifying dress which is non-mainstream indie, which is probably something I may not have heard of before, again, go leave it down in the comments. Let me know what knit dress suggestions you have. What I do really want is something that's going to show off my waist. I don't want anything that's got some crazy cutouts and things. Yeah, there's lots of different options on there. I don't want anything that's particularly bridal party looking either. I want it to be like a nice fancy cocktail party dress. That's the criteria. So yeah, I've invested a lot of time making a toile, which ultimately didn't work, but it's probably saved my bacon on my other fabric. So I'm excited to make my finished version of whatever dress this is going to be. It's just going to be a marathon to get there, and there's a few hurdles I have to jump over to get there, ultimately to win the race, because we want to win the race. This dress is going to look stunning when I finish it. I'm determined. So yeah, Vogue, very easy Vogue. I gotta say, it was actually very easy sewing this one up. I will give this a brain friendliness of 4 out of 5. Yeah, there's some points in here where I didn't know whether you should finish some seams or not, a bit vague. I really like the pockets. There's pockets in this dress, which is always a good thing, isn't it? Once again, another different way I have learned to insert pockets. I think this is really ingenious. I might try this trick for other skirts going forward. Really quite easy, I liked it. There's pockets on both sides, but you do baste them shut, and I haven't unbasted the other one, so I've only got one pocket here. On the back, yeah, it's okay. You know what? I do really like the tie waist. The tie is really nice and long here. But Barbara is wearing it well. I'm not going to be wearing it. It's going to go into the scrap heap. I will use this. I'll cut it up. I might make myself a t-shirt out of this fabric. It's actually quite nice. Just not this dress. So that's what I've been up to of late. As I've mentioned, I've made a start on sewing with some sequins. There's an absolutely gorgeous top in the making, and the first time sewing that exciting fabric. So yeah, that's what I've been up to lately. Lots of sewing going on, not a lot of big awesome things happening, but a lot of useful sewing. Very, very practical. So that is a wrap for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do go and give me a thumbs up down below if you did. And also, if you've been lurking around Ripper Seams watching a few videos but you're not yet subscribed, go ahead, click on that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any future Ripper Seams videos. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I wish you a wonderful week of sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.